Right, my name is Jim Crockett. I am the curator of the Shaw House and Donnington Grove open air sculpture exhibition, and I would like to take you round the Japanese garden of Donnington Grove and show you a few sculptures which might perhaps interest you, sufficient for you to come and see them. Okay. So here we have 3 vessels by Belinda Giza, and she was keen to exhibit here at Donnington Grove because of the pond which is here behind, and the vessels here. She has taken the inspiration from Cornwall and the waterways there and the sea there and the boats that travel in the water and pick up various clinker and various debris, and each journey of the boat tells a story, and these likewise, each one of these, because of their complex and rough texture here, tells a story also. This is a masterful work by Deacon Lady called Leaping Dolphin, and you can clearly see the sense of movement he has got on his dolphin, and he's used the fish profiles here to exaggerate or encapsulate that sense. And his other work involves owls and all sorts of birds of prey, and also jaguars and deer and such like. All of these animals, he seems to get a sense of movement which I've never seen by anyone producing work in metal. This is the work by Gavin Wilkinson called Hair Care, and these pieces here are the bottle tops of hair care products, and his point here is to say that these have been beautifully designed, each and every one, and they then get discarded, put into a bin, and therefore they no longer are valid. He's simply trying to validate these bottle top, bringing it back into the work, which he's made himself here, and show that good design can then be reimagined in a different context. So obviously the symbol of recycle is not hard to understand, but it's also saying that design is as important as art, and even when it's discarded, it still has a validity which he's endeavouring to encapsulate in this piece here. These pieces here are called Marble Box and Metal Box by Ben Norman. And the point he's in trying to get over here is that, and I quote him, decoration is savage. In other words, that a piece like this is sufficient in its texture and its material and simplicity of shape to make the point he wants to make. So decoration simply undermines the beauty and simplicity of the work. He also would like to make them bigger for his next show, of the same scale as a human, so they interact on the same level as a human, and therefore will change the idea of viewing them in isolation. Thank you. A beautiful piece by the extremely gifted Paul Harvey, who produces a number of issues of the same piece in bronze and in marble and in stainless polished steel. And what he's trying to do in this one here is illustrate the sense of movement of a gannet going into the water to catch a fish or two from a passing shoal. He's got one gannet here and he's got one on the other side. But what is important, I think here, is to understand it's not just a depiction of a gannet, but the shapes are absolutely astounding. And he is the first to admit, not admit, but acknowledge the fact that he uses Art Deco has obviously been an important influence in his work. It's the simplicity of line which he's looking for here to get that sense of movement, and he's doing away with all other detailing which might detract from that simple but beautifully executed sculpture, an aesthetic piece of work. This is the work of extremely established sculptor called Michael Fairfax, who uses the relationship between sound and wind in his sculpture to make the connection between the natural forces. This one here is a harp, and it says clearly, all it takes is one light touch to set my music free. So you can run your fingers through there, or you can simply allow the wind to do the work for you. This is the work of Colin Underhey. It's called the Oak and Cedar Bench, so it's quite economic in his description, and he is, I think, remarkably gifted in getting these shapes out of ordinary benches and his imagination seems to be unfettered. I've said to him, who are your influences? He says, nobody. I said, where do you get your ideas from? They come from the wood. And this is one of mine. This is by Jim Crockett. It's called Pod. And I've done several of them dotted around the Japanese garden and also a number of coloured ones at Shaw House. And they're simply there to embellish the garden, particularly when the plants have ceased doing the embellishing. And they're quite nice. They're a bit Venetian, a bit of fun, and I like them very much. And I hope you do. What more can I say? This is a piece called Lady Lovely Wings by Melissa Cole, and was, as she said, inspired by the boys' ballet and also by a firework display to which they were dancing to. And you can clearly see there is a connection between the fireworks and the brightness of something going up in the sky and these angelic pieces here, deftly crafted by a woman who exhibits throughout Europe and also in Shaw House, where you see her landscape pieces. This is the beloved dog of Maria Acker's called Lennox, the boxer, and she has lovingly recreated him perfectly, and she is keen to move on, so she tells me, from representational work to more abstract interpretation of animals, but here it is a testament as to her extraordinary skill of detail and representation. Well, I very much hope you've enjoyed that little tour of this beautiful garden, and much more important, the contents within. And there is more of this beauty by the same artist in Shaw House. Again, a completely different setting, but equally as beautiful. And the shows end on June the 3rd, so you must get up there and you must view them. And if you really want to, you could do your creative input and purchase them. That would be good. But also, can I recommend humbly this booklet which I wrote about the individual artists and the thought process they have to create their work and why they do it and how they do it. But don't take it away. Don't take it away. But certainly read it, and it will give context to the beautiful work I hope you shall be visiting in the very near future. And it's open all day from 11 to 4 at Shaw, and here from 9 to 5 all day, every day. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful, wonderful experience. I have.